There is a sound that humans have made for thousands of years.
It is a sound found in the rituals of monks.
In the lullabies, mothers sing to their children.
And in the moments when we are deep in thought.
It is a simple vibration created by the vocal cords and a low, steady resonance that we call humming.
We often dismiss humming as a nervous habit or a way to carry a tune when we do not know the words.
We view it as a trivial act and something that has no bearing on our medical health or our longevity.
But what if I told you that this simple act of making a sound with your mouth closed is actually one of the most powerful biological switches?
In your entire body.
Unlocking a hidden reservoir of a miracle gas that is stored inside the cavities of your skull.
This gas is called nitric oxide.
For a senior looking to protect their brain from the slow suffocation of aging. Nitric oxide is not just a molecule, it is the currency of life.
It is the chemical messenger that tells your arteries to open wide.
It is the signal that allows your immune system to kill invaders.
And it is the fuel that allows your neurons to communicate and form new memories.
The terrifying reality of aging is that our natural production of this gas plummets as we get older. By the time you are 6 years old, your body produces less than half the nitric oxide it did when you were 20. This loss is a primary driver of high blood pressure and vascular dementia and the stiffening of the arteries that leads to stroke.
But here is the secret that most doctors do not have time to explain.
You have a backup system. You have a secondary factory for nitric oxide. Located right behind your nose in the paranasal sinuses.
And the only way to activate this factory, and the only way to release this gas into your bloodstream instantly,
Is through the physics of vibration, and specifically the vibration caused by humming.
In this comprehensive guide, we are going to explore the fascinating science of the humming effect.
We will explain the exact biological mechanism of how oscillating airflow releases nitric oxide levels. 15 times higher than silent breathing. We will reveal how this gas travels from your nose to your brain.
Scrubbing your arteries and supercharging your mitochondria.
And stay with me until the end, because we will provide the Brahmari protocol.
The specific ancient breathing technique validated by modern science.
That you need to perform every single morning to flood your brain with oxygen and protect your mind from decline.
Before we dive in, if you have not subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell.
Part 1. The molecule of life.
In the year 1998, 3 scientists were awarded the Nobel Prize in Medicine
for their discovery of nitric oxide as a signaling molecule in the cardiovascular system.
Before this discovery, we did not fully understand how the body regulated blood pressure.
We knew that arteries could expand and contract, but we did not know the language they used to do it. It turns out the language is a gas. Nitric oxide is produced by the endothelium, the single layer of cells that lines the inside of every blood vessel in your body.
When these cells are healthy and stimulated, they release this gas.
The gas diffuses into the smooth muscle cells wrapped around the artery, telling them to relax. When the muscle relaxes, the artery widens. This is called vasodilation. When the artery widens, blood pressure drops instantly and blood flow increases.
This allows oxygen and nutrients to reach the furthest and tiniest capillaries in your body, and specifically the ones deep inside your brain. It basically acts like a Teflon coating for your vascular system, keeping everything smooth and flowing.
But there is a catch. Nitric oxide is a gas with a very short lifespan. This means your body must produce it constantly, continuously, 24 hours a day to keep you alive.
As we age, the enzyme that produces this gas becomes broken and inefficient. It gets rusted out by oxidative stress.
This is why seniors develop high blood pressure. This is why seniors develop vascular dementia.
The pipes are constricting because the relaxation signal is fading. You need a way to boost this signal. You need a way to bypass the broken enzymes. Part 2. The hidden reservoir in your skull.
Most people think of the nose simply as the organ of smell or a filter for the air.
But anatomically, the nose is the gateway to a massive network of hollow cavities called the paranasal sinuses.
You have sinuses above your eyes, and behind your nose, and inside your cheekbones. For centuries, doctors thought these were just empty air pockets, designed to make the skull lighter.
But modern research has revealed that the lining of these sinuses is biologically unique. The epithelial cells inside your sinuses are factories for nitric oxide.
Unlike the arteries, which produce the gas only when stimulated by blood flow, and the sinuses produce the gas continuously and store it.
Think of your sinuses as a storage tank. The gas accumulates in these hollow spaces, waiting to be used.
You inhale plain air directly into your lungs. The nitric oxide stays trapped in the sinuses and does you no good.
If you breathe through your nose quietly, and you pick up a small amount of this gas, the air passes over the opening of the sinuses and drags a little bit of the nitric oxide down into the lungs.
This is why nasal breathing is so much healthier than mouth breathing.
It delivers a steady trickle of this vasodilator to your system.
But we want more than a trickle. We want a flood.
We want to empty the tank and send a massive bolus of this healing gas directly to the brain. To do that, we need to shake the tank. This brings us to the physics of humming.
Part 3. The physics of vibration.
In the year 2002, researchers at the Karolinska Institute in Sweden published a landmark study
In the American Journal of Respiratory and Critical Care Medicine.
They wanted to test the effect of sound on nasal nitric oxide levels.
They hooked participants up to a machine that measured the gas levels in their exhaled breath.
First, they asked the participants to exhale silently through their nose. The levels of nitric oxide were normal. Then they asked the participants to exhale while humming.
The results were shocking.
When the participants hummed, the levels of nitric oxide increased by 15 times. That is a 1,500% increase.
Why did this happen?
It comes down to the physics of oscillating airflow.
When you inhale onto the wave, you create a sound wave.
This vibration acts like a mechanical agitator. It shakes the air inside the sinuses. Imagine a bottle of carbonated soda.
If you open it slowly, a little gas escapes.
If helpful, type 1. If not, type 0.
Like, share, subscribe to protect your brain and heart.
Thank you for watching.
And take care of yourself.
From the lungs, it is absorbed instantly into the bloodstream, where it travels systemically to every organ in your body.
This is not a subtle effect. It is a massive physiological shift triggered by a simple sound.
Part 4. The Journey to the Brain.
So you have hummed. You have released the gas. What happens next?
The journey of that nitric oxide molecule is fascinating. First, it travels down the trachea and into the lungs. In the lungs, nitric oxide acts as a local vasodilator. It opens up the capillaries in the lung tissue.
This improves what doctors call the ventilation-perfusion ratio.
It means your blood is able to grab more oxygen from the air you breathed in.
So simply by humming, you are increasing the oxygen saturation of your blood. You are making every breath more efficient. Then this oxygen-rich and nitric oxide-loaded blood travels back to the heart and is pumped out to the body.
The first place it goes is up the carotid arteries to the brain.
Your brain is the most energy-hungry organ you possess. It consumes 20% of your oxygen.
If blood flow to the brain drops even slightly, neurons begin to hibernate and eventually die. This condition is called cerebral hypoperfusion, and it is the root cause of vascular dementia and brain fog. When the nitric oxide from your humming reaches the cerebral arteries, it tells them to dilate. It opens the floodgates. Blood flow to the brain increases. This brings fresh oxygen and glucose to the starving neurons. But just as importantly, it helps flush out the waste. Your brain produces metabolic waste products, toxins, like beta amyloid and tau proteins. These toxins are washed away by a system called the glymphatic system. This cleaning system relies on strong blood flow.
By humming and dilating the vessels, you are essentially turning up the water pressure in the dishwasher.
There is also evidence that nitric oxide acts directly as a neurotransmitter. It plays a role in long-term potentiation, which is the biological process of forming new memories.
So by humming, you are feeding the brain, cleaning the brain, and helping the brain write new memories.
Part 5. The vagus nerve connection.
There is a secondary mechanism at play here that is just as powerful as the gas.
It involves the vagus nerve.
We have spoken about the vagus nerve in many videos. It is
When the vagus nerve is activated, it lowers your heart rate, it lowers your blood pressure. It puts your body in a state of healing.
The vagus nerve passes right through the vocal cords. When you hum, you create a physical vibration. This vibration mechanically stimulates the vagus nerve.
It is like a massage for your nervous system.
This stimulation sends a signal straight to the brainstem, telling the entire body that you are safe.
Chronic stress and high cortisol levels are major destroyers of the brain. Cortisol kills neurons in the hippocampus.
You are switching on the repair.
This creates a synergistic effect, the chemical benefit of the nitric oxide and the electrical benefit of the vagus nerve. Part 6. The Brahmari Protocol. Now that we understand the science, how do we apply it?
This protocol is derived from an ancient yoga technique called Brahmari Pranayama, which translates to humming bee breath.
Step 1, the posture. Sit up straight. Do not slouch. Keep your neck long.
Step 2. The tongue position. Place the tip of your tongue gently against the roof of your mouth, just behind your upper front teeth.
This connects the circuit and helps transfer the vibration into the bones of your skull. Step 3, the occlusion. Take your thumbs and gently press on the tragus. Press it in to close the ear. Blocking the external sound forces the vibration to reverberate internally, shaking the sinuses more effectively. Step 4, the inhale. Close your mouth. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose.
Step 5, the hum.
Step 6, the repetition. Repeat this cycle for 5 minutes.
You will likely feel a tingling sensation. This is the feeling of perfusion.
Part 7. The mouth breathing trap. We must address the habit that destroys this benefit.
When you breathe through your mouth, you lose all the benefits. You bypass the sinus reservoir.
But chemically, you are starving your brain. Zero nitric oxide uptake.
You must train yourself to be a nasal breather. When you are walking, keep your mouth shut.
Part 8. The dietary synergies. You can supercharge the effect by providing your body with the raw materials.
The kings of this category are beets and arugula, loaded with nitrates.
Pathway 2L-phytrulene, found in high concentrations in watermelon. Fuel for the ENOS enzyme.
Part 9. The mouthwash warning.
When you use a strong alcohol-based mouthwash, you kill 99% of bacteria, also the good guys.
Studies have shown that people who start using antiseptic mouthwash can see a sudden spike in their blood pressure.
Part 10. The cumulative effect. It is about consistency. If you feel stressed, stop and hum for 1 minute. It acts as a reset button. Part 11. The contraindications. Generally, humming is safe for everyone.
However, if you have a severe sinus infection, the pressure of the vibration might be uncomfortable. Part 12. The sound of healing. The human body is an ancient machine.
The hollow spaces in your skull are not wasted space. They are pumps.
By using your voice, you are using the instrument you were born with to heal the body you live in.
Conclusion: the daily practice. So here is your challenge.
For the next 7 days, add the humming protocol to your morning routine.
Do not change anything else.
Notice if your thinking feels clearer. Notice if your hands and feet feel warmer. Notice if your sleep improves.
You are not just making a noise. You are engaging in a biological dialogue with your own cells.
You are telling your arteries to open. You are telling your body to live.
Now I would love to hear from you. Have you ever tried Brahmari breathing or humming for health?
How did it feel?
Share your experience in the comments below. Your feedback helps us build a community.
If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment with 1. If not, type 0.
And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content dedicated to protecting your brain.
Thank you for watching, and take care of yourself.